We are here in our cozy little waiting room doing our Midwife Monday, and we come back today with another birth story with the lovely Amy Mackey. And
Lori, are you in this?
And Renee, of course, is here. So yeah, we just want to hear about your birth story because you're a first-time mom. You birthed at the birth center. We want to hear all about that. What your experience was like, what it felt like, and all the in-betweens.
Yeah. It's a big thing for first-time moms. You know, it always comes up. Can I do it the first time? Family members have lots of concerns.
Yeah.
And you came in late into care. Transferred in
third trimester.
In our third trimester. So let's start with you started in your third trimester.
Yeah.
I forget how many weeks you were, but it was
I think probably
30 or something like that.
Yeah, probably around 32 weeks.
Yeah.
Moved to town. Yeah, moved to town. Was seeing an OB who was actually very supportive of transferring in to a midwife's care. And that was great. And that helped family be a little bit more on board.
Yeah, she had this really supportive obstetrician up north. So he wasn't, no red flags.
Yeah,
so
he thought
was
this
supportive
was
of it.
Great. But so I was the first one in our family to want to do something like this at a hospital. And I think a lot of people are in that boat where it's new to people and family members, and they have their concerns and voice their concerns, and I think it's great. But I also really believed that my body was capable of doing that, and I just held on to that the entire time.
Did you do research that got you to the place knowing that it was a safe place for you to birth? And
Yeah.
Did you share that with your family members?
Yeah, I tried to let them know these are the statistics. This is what is really historically normal and safe. And other countries that have more of a midwife influence during maternity care have better and higher rates of successful, safe maternity.
Yeah, better birth outcomes.
And
But it's hard for family members in the U.S. to really acknowledge.
Totally.
They don't really believe that is true.
What it is 2%, right?
Less than 1% of the U.S.
1%.
population births at a hospital.
Yeah. So definitely was out of many sisters and sister-in-laws who have had babies, is the only one who wanted to try to do this. And so continue to do that, and I really continued to ask to only hear good birth stories.
Yes.
When people would come talk to me or try to give me maybe a scary birth story, or my baby would have died if they were in the hospital, or whatever. I just asked to not hear it.
Or you're going to get the drug.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a big part of our culture because we don't believe that birth is normal in our culture. So we freely share our bad birth stories. And it's just like the analogy I say is like, when you go to a wedding, what is our divorce rate in the U.S.? I mean, it's something insane. I don't know, 50% of people are divorced or something. 50%. But you never go to a wedding and you go, oh, yeah, good luck with that. I'm divorced because, it was just terrible. But good luck with that. Totally. Like, who in their right mind would do that at a wedding? But when a pregnant woman comes up, we are so freely willing to share our scary stories.
Totally.
So you do want to protect yourself. Yeah. Right? And so just only good stories.
Yeah. And it comes from a good place, too.
Totally.
Like a lot of the time. It's like, I just want to prepare you, but it is within your right to say, no.
I'm okay, thank you. And I acknowledge your experience, but I need to be mentally prepared to only bring good things into my
It's not that you're just trying to be ignorant and say I only want to be a Pollyanna and hear only the great stories.
Totally.
It's just you're going into it with some research behind you.
Totally.
And so just get some support in that.
Yeah. And so I think I tried to internalize successful stories. I tried to really believe that God had created my body to be able to do this. And that's what I held on to. And I don't think that there was ever a moment in my birth experience that I was afraid. I think there was a time that I acknowledged this is harder than I thought it was going to be. Yep. But I said that to Renee one time. I was like, just got slapped in the face with a little reality right there at one point. And but then really continued to, I think during the birth experience, continue to accept it, just like I did my whole pregnancy. That this is part of my journey, and
And it wasn't this wasn't a quick, smooth. I mean, it was smooth. There were no complications, but it was not fast.
It was not 5 hours.
No.
So I think it was maybe. I was here 9 hours, and I think it was maybe 16 hours.
Yeah.
Through
which is typical. But so the story is not like you came in, you weren't complete and pushing when you got here.
No.
I mean, you had some laboring to do when you got here.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of your labor that active labor was very slow for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. And ironically, she had the baby when myself and Sarah, the other midwife, I was taking my son to college for the first time.
Yeah.
And so I was out of town, and Sarah and I overlapped being out of town together for like a few hours.
Short amount of time, and those were the hours that I was in here laboring the story. So
with the midwife she'd never met.
Yeah.
And Kat.
And I Kat, felt very comfortable with Kat. And she really was there the majority, in it the majority of the time. And so they let me and Joey, my husband, and my mom was here, and so those are the only people I invited to be here. My dad was out here waiting and praying and just supporting us. And I just worked it out. And that's really what it was. Is I worked it out, and
the midwives had to leave you alone for a little bit. She had to really wrap her head around it and work it out. I think you probably had been 8 centimeters or 9 centimeters or something. You were kind of arrested.
I think I was stalled at 7.
And the midwives did contemplate taking her to the hospital. And they had to give her a little bit of time alone, and you had to kind of wrap your head around it.
And that's what I think that
be patient.
Totally. And that's when I accept, I think they say you get to this point of surrender and acceptance, and I don't remember fully thinking I do remember saying I'm not sure how much longer I can do this.
All say that.
And then very soon after that my water broke, and that brought me right to completion, I guess. And fully dilated, and what would you?
And there she is. She wants her piece of the story here.
Her to say hi.
So what was happening inside of Mama was
and then got out of the tub and pushed story out quickly, actually, in 25 minutes,
which is
push very
really
long.
fast. Average pushing for a first-time mom is 2 to 3 hours is average pushing.
Yeah, but it felt so much better to me. And
in the water.
No. Once I got out, the pushing felt better. And I just was like, I've done this. I'm ready to see her. And she was born, and it was really amazing. And right away, I just thought to myself, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did this. And and
and then how was your family? Were they relieved, the ones that were having a little bit of a hard time?
Yeah, definitely. I think that they were excited to see that this can happen. This can be perfectly normal, and I can go home and have a good night's sleep, and right away, 3 hours later, and be in my own space, eat my own food, and be with the people I want to be around. And they saw. I think it obviously eased any concern that they had that I was able to do it, and there were no complications at all.
Because most of the time there are no complications, right? I mean, and if you look at the statistics worldwide, and you look at the countries that have midwifery care, they do have the best birth outcomes. And it's really hard for us as Americans to acknowledge that, because we think, well, no, of course you have to have a baby in the hospital, and it's so dangerous, and what if something happens? And you do have to be cognizant of those things. I mean, there are situations where we're very proactive and we're very watchful of complications in the labor, which we've talked about before on these Midwife Mondays. And we're not pushing the envelope, and we're not going to keep a mother here that's not safe. But we know statistically that out of hospital is the safest place to be for low-risk women, and give her time, and you needed some time, and you just needed to let your body do its thing.
Every birth is unique and different, and so for midwives, they're educated on the fact that there is a unique process and rhythm to every person's individual pregnancy and labor, and so they know when this is a red flag and this isn't. But you guys also are so educated in so many people's labors, right? That
everybody has a different labor, and so much of birth is patience.
Yeah.
And knowing when to intervene and knowing when to not intervene, knowing when to leave her alone. The midwives knew Amy needed a minute, right?
Yeah.
They left the room. Baby was safe. There was no complications. Heartbeat was great. Her vitals were good.
I just needed to go into myself. And
she needed to go into, I think you were in the shower or something? Like in a little cave. She needed that private time. Whereas if it was a hospital birth, there would have been more interventions done at that point.
Yeah.
And who knows, it could have ended up the same way, or it could have been not the same way, as a matter of fact. When we intervene, it doesn't always mean we have a better outcome.
Yeah. It feels to me like one of the overarching themes is trust. Like trust in yourself, and then also trust in your
team.
And in your care, because I feel like some people, we get attached to our midwives sometimes. And that's a difficult thing, to go into your birth and know that there's somebody else going to be there.
As the midwife, I was on the phone, I was getting text messages, and I was getting on a plane, and the midwife said, we might transport, and my reaction was, you just keep her stable until I get there. And then I prayed. And in my mind, it was inappropriate, but in my mind I thought, I'm going to get there, and nobody's going anywhere until I show up in that room, and thankfully she delivered by the time my plane landed.
Yeah, right when the plane landed.
Yeah, I missed it, but we're very attached. But we also know where the line is, being so attached, we still know sometimes we need to go in, and we're not going to keep you in an environment that's not safe because we're attached to your outcome.
So they didn't want me to get, because I was in active labor, but it was going slowly, they didn't want me to get too tired.
Right.
And then by the time pushing, not be able to do that.
Or the baby being too tired.
Yeah.
And baby not being able to tolerate pushing, but that wasn't the case. They knew to be patient, and vitals were good.
Yeah.
Moms are monitored very closely, and we are conservative practitioners.
Yeah.
So we do transport if we think it's going to be a better experience for the baby.
Yeah.
We don't want to ever risk a mom and a baby here. And we have such good collaborative care that we knew we could go in and be respected at our local hospital.
Totally. And I ultimately, it was an amazing experience. Excited to do it again,
So, if you were to do it again, do you think your family would still have reservations? Or
no,
are they?
I don't think so. I think that they would know, and I think also because I'm involved in this community now, and that's so much a part of me and Story's weekly life. But no, I think that they see that this is what I'm around. They've heard multiple success stories from me from being around the birth center, and I think they're fully supportive of this is how I choose to birth.
Right.
And I think they're respectful of that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If you could do one thing differently between your first birth and your next birth, whatever that is, what would it be?
To change the.
What would you do different this time?
Anything. Like for me, I know it was like I want to have my second baby at home.
Yeah, so
versus in the birth center.
That's what I would like to do. I would like to have the next baby at home because I wanted to have Story at home too, but I chose to have her here just to ease some.
These kids are just having a blast with some cereal and a little mason jar, and it's really, and they're saying me. They just really want some of that cereal.
Oh my God.
But one of the big changes that moms have when they do their first baby here, and then they come into care for subsequent babies, is they will often change their location. They'll do a home birth.
And that's
or they've had home births and they want to try a birth center birth. But that's a big change that happens. Is that location?
Yes.
I
love my home. I feel comfortable in my home, and there's nice lighting, and that's just where I feel like that's what I want to do next, and we'll see.
I feel like you walk into the birthing rooms, and you just fall in love, and
you're
like,
totally,
I'm gonna have my baby in a giant tub.
It's
just so inviting.
Totally,
pretty fantastic.
It is amazing. I am quite often willing to take a bath in there.
Oh, it's so funny. One midwife in the community, she's not practicing anymore. She put something on Facebook and said, just talking about taking a bath and how for midwives, for us, taking a bath isn't really the same as somebody who's not a midwife taking a bath, because we get in the bath and we think, we just think of birth.
Totally.
Like, oh,
People
wow, yeah.
having babies.
Yeah, we just think about other women having babies
Yeah.
and when we're going into labor. It's just so, it's not necessarily as relaxing.
So funny. Yeah.
It's funny. So, yeah. So, it is possible for a first baby. There's a lot of research out there that supports out of hospital birth with a trained midwife, especially for a first time mom. And it's really difficult when our families aren't 100% behind us, and we get it because it's not our norm.
Yeah.
But we encourage them to do the homework on it. If you're going to have an opinion and think it's a bad idea, we encourage those family members to look at the research. The British Medical Journal has a beautiful research paper that they published, and it shows the statistics. So look at the facts.
Yeah.
Not the alternative facts, but the real facts.
Totally.
And look at the facts before you base your opinion on nothingness necessarily, right?
Yeah.
And we understand it, but we really encourage education.
Yeah. And grant them that grace that this is new to them.
Yes.
And grant yourself the grace that this is new to you, and that you really can do what you believe that your body can do.
That's great.
So
Grace.
yeah.
Everybody deserves grace.
I love that. Great.
Yes,
I love it.
there
Thank
you
you
go.
so much, Amy, for sharing your
welcome.
beautiful
Thank you.
story with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you, all of our viewers today. We had like
Yeah.
15 to 20.
Nice.
This is a good one. Jessica
Awesome.
Messiah
Thanks, you guys.
says, even when birth partners are concerned about out-of-hospital birth, Renee and team are so great at answering questions to ease their minds. I could not agree more.
Oh, thank you, Jessica. We encourage, bring family members to your prenatals. We're happy to answer those questions. I actually had a couple's parents come in and meet with me privately. They really, they just, it was really hard for them to wrap their head around this.
Totally.
And we understand it. We're not offended by it. We're happy to share, and we're not trying to change anybody's mind.
Yeah.
Our job is not to convert people to out-of-hospital births. Our job is to
Present
educate,
facts.
give the best information we can, and then everyone deserves whatever opinion they want to come up with.
Yeah.
We support birth in any environment. You want to have a scheduled C-section, right on. As long as everything you're doing, we really encourage informed decision making. That's the bottom line. And we support birth in any manner, as long as it's informed. So thank you all for participating in these Midwife Mondays. They're really awesome. And Amy, thank you so much. We adore Amy, and we're so thankful that she comes around the birth center and helps us out. So have a
Raquel,
great,
by the
great
way,
day.
said, Raquel, for our last little comment here, she said, yes, completely turned around my husband's perspective. He loved Renee. I mean, who doesn't love Renee?
Totally.
We loved him too.
Selling flesh.
All right, everybody, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next
Everybody,
week.
thanks so much.
Bye-bye.